But today I want to talk to you about selling and about why do people buy from you? How do they decide to buy from you and not the guy down the street? Let's talk about that a little bit because I think this is a very fascinating subject. Okay, so why do people want to buy from you? Why do you think it is? Because you bombarded them with some advertising and you were relentless, and so then eventually they said yes? Well, sometimes that might be true. But more times than not, it's because of something else. Now, the clue really comes in when you look at your own buying behaviors. So who do you buy from and why? If you look at why it is you buy from certain brands and you avoid other brands, it might give you some clues as to why people are buying or not buying from you. So think of a brand that you really like, that you like to buy from. Why do you like to buy from them? Okay, so let's take, like I have a lot of Apple products. Why do I like Apple? Well, for one thing, I get good service and I get a good product. Okay, so those are two really big reasons. You know, if you can give excellent service and you can give an excellent product, then you're going to have customers because they're going to love to work with you. But why would they, or how would they find out about you in the first place? And what is it that draws them in so they can find out that you have a good product and you have good service? Okay, this is the key to marketing, is how do we bring people in and get them interested? A lot of times companies use price, you know, come in and it's the cheapest thing, or it's the most exclusive thing. That's why you should buy from us, right? And that can draw people in. But I'll tell you a little secret, and it's not so secret, but it might be new for you. And that is there's a story that usually draws people in. Some kind of story that people go, huh? What'd you say? All right, so if we take Apple again as an example, they have a great origin story, right? Of how, you know, these guys, they're, you know, working in their garage and they're developing these little computers and it's a big ugly box to begin with. And the whole origin story is fascinating and we're drawn in and we get to know the characters and we want to try it and then we like it. And then they provide excellent service and excellent product and voila, customer for life. Okay, so this is the key, is actually having a story that draws people in. Yes, you can hit people over the head with Facebook ads until they're blue in the face and they finally look at your product. Maybe that will work. I don't know. Has not worked that well for me. I don't like bombarding people with ads of any kind because I'm competing with everybody else on the same playing field. However, I love to tell origin stories. There's actually other stories that you can tell, and I want to go over that a little bit today. On what story do you have that you could share about your business, about your products, about your services that will pull people in? So you don't have to hit people over the head with advertising, that you literally can just share your story and you will attract the perfect customer to you. So knowing what your story is actually harder than you think. Now, I work with people on books and I'm always working with them on like getting them to share their story. Oh my gosh, it's like I'm pulling out their teeth. You'd think it was like that they didn't even know what their story is. And actually, that's actually partly true, is they don't even know that their story is the story. What do I mean by that? Well, so you have a past, and because it happened to you, you may not think of it much as a story, like that's just what happened. Or you've got a certain level of expertise in your field because of all these experiences that you had, but you might discount those experiences because doesn't everybody have that? Or I've even had people who are incredible experts in something and they don't really even realize that they're experts. Why? Because it's just normal to them. But you are an expert because of your experiences, okay? And you're still standing, so you've made it through somehow. And you can share that expertise with other people and tell them the story about that. Okay, so I want you to think, let's give an example. And I actually don't know this person's story very well, but I'm going to use it anyway. Okay, so if you've heard about Tom's shoes, okay, why do people buy Tom's shoes? Is it because they're the nicest shoes? No. The most stylish shoes? No. The most comfortable shoes? No again. If you've ever worn them, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, but there's a great story behind the shoes, okay? And Tom, was out wanting to get shoes on these kids that didn't have any shoes. And so he said, you buy a pair of my shoes here, and I will make sure that these kids get a pair of shoes. For every pair of shoes you buy, I'll make sure someone who needs shoes gets them. What makes you feel good about buying shoes? And believe me, I need to feel good about that sometimes. I have too many shoes. But what we want to do, or what he's done there, is shared a story, a passion, a mission that he's doing with his business. Now, you may look at that and go, well, I don't have that kind of a story with my business. That's fine. But you have a story as to why you're in the business that you're in. Why did you choose your particular profession? What is it about it that intrigued you or got you into it in the first place? There's a story there. And with a little development and maybe even asking a few of the right questions here or there, we could really pull out a great story as to why you're doing what you're doing, so that when other people hear it, they go, oh my gosh, that's who I want to, as my dry cleaner. Whatever profession you have, you can draw in people because of your story. So now the main parts of a story that are the most intriguing is your before and after story. So what things were like before, and then what you got to after. So what was it like when you were in all this pain, or you were in all this confusion about something, and then your solution, which is your product or your services, right, happened, and then voila, there you are on the other side of it, and you made it through that challenge. You are an expert now on that problem. And that is all our businesses are, is a solution to a problem. So you got to know what problem it is that you solve. What's the problem you solve? And then what story can you use as an example of how you solve that problem? You're going to draw people in with this story. They're going to want to buy from you because they're going to know you. They're going to like you. They're going to trust you more. And that's what stories do. It's really a powerful thing to know your story and then share it with other people. You don't have to, you'll see advertisements that use story a lot. It's a big thing. But when you do it from a personal point of view about your business and why you're in it, people love to support that. Okay, so that's my little tip for you today, is to find out your story. It could be an origin story, or it could be your pain story or your transformation story. We have tons of stories, okay? Just pick one and then try that one and see how that works, if that's drawing people in. Or see if there's another way that you could share a different story that works better. Sometimes you gotta, try on a few of these different stories and see which ones resonate best with your ideal customer, okay? But try it, you'll like it. All right, thanks for being with me today, you guys. And I have a travel day tomorrow. I'll do some kind of live something from the road. But we will see you again. Bye.